Welcome back. Game number 3 rolling through. It is 2 in Baby's favor. AWE has been pressed against the wall, but they're feeling confident from the sounds of things coming into their potential match point. And I have the opportunity to cast over what could be a very daring game coming out with War Leader.
Thanks, Escape. And coming out, Ban's looking pretty similar so far. Nothing too crazy coming off the board, but I would be very surprised to see Antunes get that Nautilus again. He's been an absolute monster on it, game in, game out, throughout this series and this season, and I feel like Art of War just have to ban it, but no, they're going to ban the Polar Bear.
Leaving it up for the moment. I'm very surprised too. I mean, like that like all of us know. Everybody watching this should know by now if you haven't been able to tell. Antunes is reasonably good at those hook champions. Has been for quite a while. And we saw him pulling off some crazy stuff in the previous game. Like a really early hook in the bot lane that I think picked up their first kill on a Yon was just insane, looping it through stuff. And he finds that stuff every single game. It's not like a surprise. It's a very consistent thing he's able to pull off. So confidence from AWE to leave that up. And it is because I was wondering if they were going to first pick it for a Riri.
Yep, and Riri is going to lock in that Nautilus. It's a champion that Riri's looked pretty good on. Riri's had some of his best games on this Nautilus, especially as AWE were upward trending throughout the season, and it looks like Antunes is going to opt into Leona instead. It's a very common champion we've seen Antunes go to when a lot of the hook champs are banned out. You don't really want the Blitzcrank, so yep, going towards that Leona. Jarvan also picked up for Dax.
Dax is... obviously we had him on a really solid Jarvan game previously. It's not a new champion that he's been picking up. It fits his playstyle really well, really early activity. Seaborg with the Zoe locked in. Okay, now I'm interested about how this comp's going to come together. I've seen Seaborg be very proficient on that pick before. It's one of my favorite champions. I'm going to get a lot of, hate for that, but, it's a fun champion to play. But
OMG, I hope Zoe wins.
OMG, I hope Zoe wins. No, it's cool to see. I think they're going to try and put together a little bit more poke. Obviously, that's what Zoe is favored to. Jinx is a decent option for that. Obviously, the scaling option is there as well. They don't have an enchanter to buff her up, so she will be just at that baseline item state. And it looks like P-Sweezy might be going back to that Vigor. This composition looking quite similar for Baby.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. This is what this is Baby's comfort zone, and when you want to put a series away, no reason to do anything different. Just grab Engage for Dax, Engage for Antunes, put P-Sweezy on Vigor. You can even flex it to Luru. And just do what they're comfortable with. Art of War is the one with their backs against the wall, has to do something a little different. And we're going to have to see how Seaborg performs on this Zoe. Early on, it's looking like that's going to be sort of the focal point of this composition.
A good option. I mean, obviously, it's a champion that gets a lot of lane priority, so if they're looking to help Crims out in that jungle, that'll be very good. Zoe has access to hard CC very early on in the game. A lot of damage, especially in early kit, especially with the passive. You weave it in together, she's got a lot of power, and she has some of, if not the best wave clear at level 1 through 3 of any mid laner, just bar none. She can always push in, she can always get that priority, always help out. So we'll see whether or not, like you say, whether or not Seaborg's going to be able to make use of that. So far, bans focused on just mainly top lane bans, I would say. A lot of stuff taken away from Jappy there, the GP and the Ornn being taken away, and the Mordekaiser from Slowbro, that's been quite a signature pickup. That Diana taken away from Crims.
Yeah, those bans make a lot of sense. Try and shut down those top laners mainly. Diana being a very powerful pick in meta, also pretty good into Jarvan specifically. Just so get that out of there. Pinch what Crims can play that can actually take over the game. With the Diana and the Nocturne gone, it's going to be a lot more difficult, and Baby's going to pick Twitch as their scaling option of their own.
I'm interested to see how that one comes together. I mean, Luru being on a champion that can play that aggressively could be interesting. Obviously matched with Antunes, there's going to be a lot of aggression in that bot lane opportunity, depending on who finds their opportunities first. I think that there's definitely room for a Riri to get things set up as well, but Twitch is interesting.
For sure, and we're going to have to see what AWE want to pick next. It is going to be that jungle, and it is going to be Zac. Now, Zac has a 100% win rate in FOF, and I know a few people, including myself, that would be disappointed if AWE lose now. So they've picked their way into that one, and would this be a Nico top lane? That would be really interesting blind.
Okay, hold on. We've seen this. You and I have seen this. It might actually be going through onto Slowbro. Now, they have flexed it between both positions, but Zoe doesn't flex quite as well. Yes, that is going to be Nico. I have to assume going into the top lane. Now, a little bit of insider intel. I'm not going to say too much, but I think there's a very good chance that we might see a precision primary on that Nico. I'm not gonna, no guarantees or anything like that, but we have seen it before.
Uh-huh.
So we'll see how that one comes through. An Akshan for Jaffe, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think that makes so much sense as a response. I think it's going to force Nico into actually more of that mage playstyle and to not be so much of that on-hit threat. And I do think that it's going to put a lot of pressure on Jinx to get out a lot of damage in team fights. So I really like that as a response from Team Baby, and I like that Art of War are mixing things up. That being said, I think their composition is a little weird if they can't find very clean engages and use Zoe to just pop a champion immediately. They have that very good pick and team fight style that they've put together. Meanwhile, Baby kind of doing what they normally do, scaling and engage. And I have to imagine they're going to take this. They're going to want to take this in 3 if at all possible. But we're just going to have to see as we get into the game.
Yeah, my only concern is with Baby's composition. Obviously, they have the J4 there on Dax to just kind of get the ball rolling in the early stages, but they're kind of missing out on lane priority most places. Obviously, I don't know how Slowbro's going to be doing, and it is going to be that press the attack being picked up for that Nico in that top lane. We'll see how things go. They're looking for an invade on this bot side. No detection picked up for this yet. Riri potentially looking to flash trade here with Luru. We'll see if Luru has the reaction time. It is there. Very last second there from Luru grabbing that flash, and that is a positive trade. You've got that Hex Flash on the Nautilus. That is exactly who you wanted to find. I think Luru is actually on the bottom side of the map there trying to avoid this situation altogether, but there is going to be the response from Baby getting that vision in the top side jungle.
Yeah, and that vision in the top side jungle, we'll have to see how that ends up working out, but generally, I value that a little more than that early flash, but I'm not an ADC player, I'm a jungle player, so that's why I feel that way. But Hex Flash does also make it so that that trade's not so bad. Riri does have access to that utility summoner spell. Luru and Antunes looking to bully, but they're not going to catch Yan and Riri going to the brush, maybe to try and do their own sort of bullying. We're going to have to see how these posture.
So there's some potential here. If this lane gets pulled by AWE, there's a chance that Luru and Antunes might try and go for a play to walk up behind them. Neither of them know where each other are. I don't know if Antunes and Luru are going to want to loop back around and go for a full flank here and walk through the minion waves. Can be very risky, but puts you in a good position to deal with Oriri. They're staying hold both teams. Almost willing to give up XP right now. Crims is onto the lower side of the map right now. There's got to be an engage here, right? Surely no. Yan walks up and shows, but there's no minions there. The hook isn't burnt there from Oriri, and I think everything has just barely been evaded.
Yeah, auto attacks in the mid lane aren't going to be evaded, but yeah, that bot lane could have gone so many different ways. Ultimately, it's going to go no way at all at the end of the day. I think slight CS lead picked up for Yan in that one. But yeah, that was a really interesting posture. I'm a little surprised we didn't see a Hex Flash. Oh, Jaffe going in for a little bit of poke damage and getting a nice early trade in onto Slowbro, having a lot of trouble getting those auto attacks out in the early stages.
Yeah, Jaffe's going to have to step up once again in this game. I think that Akshan is going to be where they center a lot of their pressure from right now as we see Seaborg just asserting the dominance in this mid lane. Zoe can get away with this type of thing. Taking E level 2, the Ignite is there. There's no Paddle Star, but he doesn't need it. Going to be picking up that first kill with the Ignite in pocket. That Electrocute adding some extra damage. It looks like Dax might be making his way down to the bot lane. Engage started by Antunes, trying to find his way to Yanya, but it's not going to come through. Oriri, without that flash available, might just become the target. Chasing him down, that is the kill picked up for Luru onto that Twitch. Nice and early is exactly what you want right now from Baby. Crims hanging out in the wings. Re-engage from Antunes, but he was just baiting him in. Very low HP. There's a flash available still for Yan right now as Crims is trying to get away from Dax. Low HP. The E might be available there from Luru. Doesn't quite take him down. Dax is so low under the turret for Antunes. Finding that extra auto attack might be his fate. Picked up there for Yan. And that is a kill traded back for AWE.
Yeah, Antunes just going a little too aggressive there. Taking one extra tower shot than the heal could prevent. And it is going to go 1-for-1, both kills going over to the AD carries. I have to say, I think I would favor that in terms of Baby overall, but really unnecessary death from the side of Antunes does make it a relatively even play.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the Twitch is going to scale up and be very, very strong. I'm very surprised Luru isn't going to choose to catch though. Is this going to be it? Luru is down a level right now. There's no summoners available for either of them right now. Popping that W, Yan is instantly canceled. Twitch does a lot of damage from this position right now as they both tick up. The E is available, so you got to count out 150 HP away from Yan. Kill picked up from Luru, just hanging out that extra little bit longer. And the XP probably isn't going to be lost out of either. The patience there from the Twitch.
And I thought that was an extremely greedy play from Luru, but it works out so well as soon as a Riri departs the lane. Very heads-up play from Luru to look for that opportunity, and it is going to pay off.
Oh, wait, is it? You know, I was saying, all right, Jaffe probably going to have to step up this game. There's not a lot of early priority anywhere. Obviously, that Vigar should just be bullied out by Seaborg. Has been so far. Solo kill picked up. Surprised that Luru's been able to find the lead like that, but just a couple of careless might be the right word. Mistakes there from AWE. They weren't respecting where the Jarvan could be. We know that there's going to be early ganks. That's how Dax always plays. That's how Jarvan likes to play. Now they're finding some pressure in the jungle right now as they find a way onto Oriri, and the action will never stop right now as Oriri missing that hook on the wall. He's got no way to get towards anybody, but P-Sweezy there. And Crims might be under a lot of pressure here. We know that Zach is vulnerable in these early stages, and I think Dax is just going to say, yep, these are my Raptors. Going to take that one away with the smite, and everything is falling apart bot side. This is where Baby likes to play.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think the Zach went for an extremely greedy clear in terms of starting Raptors and clearing down to that bot side. Yes, you hit level 3 really fast, and you don't have to show where you're going, but you hit level 4 so late. And hitting level 4 on this champion is really, really important. Once you get that second level in your E, you can really start to open up creative gank patterns. And it means that Jarvan gets high level before, but Jarvan's going to the top side for another one.
Yeah, and there he is right now on top of Slowbro. He's going to have to try and find a way out of this. There's not too many resources right now for Jaffe, so this might just be up to Dax. Crims is not rotating up to help his top laner at the moment. The flash is burned. Ignite goes down and well, but Jaffe will be sitting nice and pretty, and that is a kill picked up in the top side. And Baby is just keeping that aggression going.
Yeah, and it's so hard for Zach to match because you're behind a Jarvan in terms of minions, and in terms of those levels, really, really important for Zach to open up those creative gank angles and creative counter engage angles. And we're going to have to see Crims now level 4 going to look into this top side to try and revenge.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be to get people off the turret here. There's no TP available for Slowbro, so there won't be any re-engage coming up there. Just collecting that wave, that could be a good way to get some, you know, XP back onto the Zac right now. But everywhere is under pressure except the mid lane. It's going to be really on Seaborg trying to open things up as they do find engage, though, onto Antunes, who's been taken below 300 HP. Both Ignites ticking right now. Luru not focusing the same target as the support right now. We see how fast Oriri does burn down at the end of the day, take it very low. But that Twitch burn is not going to be enough. The Ignite had already fallen off, and Oriri is able to thwart out what could be a very dangerous play right there, as the item advantage really is favoring Baby in the spot lane.
Yeah,
I think he's looking again? No, okay.
Not quite going to find it. I really like the way that Lure was positioning in that fight, positioning in front of the support, trying to prevent Leona's death by saying, hey, there's a full health Twitch in your way, but I do have to agree the target selection does mean that no one is going to drop from the side of AWE. A little bit of a missed opportunity, and overall well played to make it that even.
Yeah, and that's what they need right now. They need to try and keep this Jinx in a good position. Obviously, Jinx is kind of one-dimensional as a carry in the same way that Twitch is. The difference is that Twitch gets a huge amount of additional range, really, really big AoE, but the bonus AD is the big one. If you can deal with the timer around the Twitch ultimate, Jinx can be stronger for a larger percentage of the game, better for fighting most of the time, but it's about if you can work around that ulti timer, and right now Lure's been playing this very well. Seaborg is playing aggressive again in this mid lane, but hold on, Lure's been caught out going for another cheesy play in the bot side. Now Seaborg is caught between two. How did he get out of there? And Dax misses that opportunity to find something in mid lane, does have the ultimate available.
Oh!
P-Sweezy is burning down, and it will be a trade in the mid lane. That is exactly what Seaborg wanted.
Yeah, Seaborg, making a mountain out of a molehill in terms of what's been given to him in terms of that play, but very well done. Baiting out that Jarvan Cataclysm means that the Zoe is fine to just walk away. And yeah, the Ignite taking down.
Is in the wings right now. They don't see Luru at the moment, as now they're jumping in onto Oriri. They get, Oriri onto Antunes, who's being taken very low. That heal was still there. They were calling for it. There's no ultimate available right now for Luru.
The twitch!
But the E is even bigger. Picks up the level 6 off the kill. And now they're chasing down Crims, who only has his passive to pray for at the moment. Antunes is in the wings. Surely they'll pick that one up. But hold on, trading the top lane right now. Slowbro getting something done against Jaffe at the moment. Hasn't been able to confuse him. Does he know which one it is? No, diving towards the wrong target, but still picks up that kill, and Crims is the only survivor.
Wow. Crims having to burn Flash to get away there. Oh my goodness, that expunge from Twitch just blew up all the members of AWE. They burned so much to try and kill a very, very tanky Leona that is ahead in this early game. And when they don't find that kill, they only find a couple summoner spells. Luru able to output so much damage. Absolutely monstrous 4-0 on the Twitch, but on Seaborg.
Yeah, Seaborg is in a little bit of trouble right now. There's that burn coming out from the red buff. He's trying to go over the wall, grabs the smite to get the healing in. But Crims, you've only put yourself in even more trouble. Another smite comes through from AWE. I don't think that's going to be enough to save this one, as Crims is able to sneak out of there again.
Oh!
To so far remain deathless is probably the only way to say it at the moment is surely Baby's going to be able to pick that one up. And once again, just proactive place on the bot side of the map.
Yeah, that bot side jungle, it belongs to the side of Baby, and I really would like to see Crims try and get a little more aggressive in that top side. Really hard, though, the way Slowbro's been beaten down, and it's very difficult, even with a mid lane that's going relatively even, to find those advantages.
Look at how scared they're playing in the spot side right now, trying to grab that hook, but Yongyon's still not even feeling comfortable. You see that they have the wave pushed up, but they don't know where the Jarvan is, and they've started respecting it, but they've started respecting it game number 3 right now. The cleanse having to be burned out of Yon, but that's necessarily enough, but the ultimate is burned out of Luru. Does find a couple of ticks in there. I don't think he'll be able to keep that pressure up any longer, but that's still half HP off the Twitch, and you know what? Antunes, that unending aggression looks like it's about to continue. Right now, the top side is, hold on, there's a gank in the mid lane, 2 versus 2. The exhaust is picked up, but Seaborg, you gotta use it, buddy. He isn't able to save himself or get away from Dax at all, and now Crims, once again, without passive, is there to save his mid laner.
In top lane.
Solo kill in the top lane. Baby is wiping the map.
Yeah, they want to go to semis pretty bad, I think, and at this point they're putting the foot on the gas and trying to get this game over as fast as possible. They're up about 6,000 gold at just 10 minutes, and they're finally going to pick up this first Cloud Drake for themselves. Those rotations from Jarvan, from Akshan are going to get even faster. The way Twitch can sneak up on you will get even faster. And wow, this game is spiraling out of control really fast as this top tower is going to fall.
Yeah, Dragon also picked up first one, though, at the 11-minute mark, but you can't ignore the gold lead right now. It's just about 6k built up right now, and that is plates being picked up for Luru as well on that bot side. It feels like everywhere is monumentally ahead, but AWE has to really keep their spirits high right now. You cannot let this defeat you, because you know, it looks grim. This is probably the worst their early games looked so far, I would say numerically, but... Yeah. You know, especially with what you're scaling into, it's deadly, but you have to know that there's a chance right now, because if you don't believe there is, then there isn't, and you have to keep going, you have to keep trying things. I think playing around Seaborg has to be their best option right now. No, Riri's doing that at the moment. The Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land there onto P Sweezy. His baby caging away, but the hook does connect. Stunned up for P Sweezy. The ultimate's gonna track him down. Is there another tick there? But it's just barely gonna miss there. The Battlestar can't pick up the kill, and Jappy's here to reset. P Sweezy on the smallest of margins is able to make it out. Yon has the ultimate available, doesn't know the Twitch is right there. There's a 1 level difference between the two of them. Trying to drop out that trash, but there's that Twitch damage. Goodbye, Yon. That is another kill picked up on the bot side again. Baby is unrelenting.
Yeah, I think AWE, they're in a lot of trouble, and I think the only way they're going to be able to get into this one is improving the ward coverage within their own jungle and trying to use that to isolate a target. We talked about in Champ Select, this draft is very good at isolating a target, taking them out, but a Riri is the one isolated right now.
Yeah, they're just not respecting it. You don't have your bot side jungle. This is how Baby always likes to play. Around the 10 to 12 minute mark, they want to lock down your bot side. We saw it in the previous game. It's just what they do. They're able to take over everything, just completely take control of that bottom quadrant. And you have to shift your focus right now to somewhere else, or you need to bring everyone to solve this problem right now. And neither of those things are happening right now. They're finally starting to bring members down, but they're outnumbered at the moment. Great hook from Oriri. Low HP on Luru's ultimate! Flashed out of and blocked from Antunes. What a hero play to keep his Twitch alive. And I think they're going to both be out of here right now. Antunes moving forward to try and deal with Oriri. The flash is burnt, has to size up the hook. Was almost able to do it. But now the CC is trying to come down. Massive solar flare there. I think Antunes is going to make it out. I think that's a kill picked up in the mid lane. Baby plays it to perfection.
Yeah, AWE make a desperation play, but there's a little bit of a miscue. Crimson or Riri engaging long before Slowbro can ever arrive to the play, and Slowbro sacrifices so much in the top lane for a desperation play. Now down about 60 CS on the Jaffe on that Akshan, who's been absolutely terrifying this game, and the desperation play from the side of AWE, it just doesn't work out. They are going to get some plates, but splitting it between 3 members isn't going to accomplish much, and they've almost run out of their window. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Prim's going in on P-Sweezy, but P-Sweezy is going to be able to walk out for now, engage the bot side.
Yeah, no problem in the bot side, though. There's that Twitch just ticking through the health bars. We saw Dax being incredibly patient there, waiting for this play to manifest. Flash being burnt out of Yanya. I don't know if that tower's going to be enough to save you right now, as Luru begins with the tanking, does grab an auto attack, and he's going to continue to tank up. No, aggro swapped out. Dax, with that triumph, is going to be able to happily walk out. And that's another kill picked up on the bot side right now. Grims is here for show.
Yeah, it's really tough in this kind of situation because in most league games you just say go next, but there's no next to go for. So AWE, they have to find some kind of opportunity, and I know that they've looked for it, but you have to keep going for those desperation plays when you're in this sort of hour of need. You need to try and set up as much vision as you can. You need to get a Riri to place as many wards as possible. Megadeth Rocket almost finding that rat, but a little too sneaky. He's going to get away. And we do see a Riri trying to get those wards down in the bottom side jungle. Dax and Antunes there to immediately sweep them out. It's going to be so hard for AWE to get a setup. But Jaffe might be a little caught out, a little too quick.
So as AWE, you have to know every single time you've tried to ward out your bot side jungle, it's gotten taken down. So play deductively. Ward your top side jungle. See how deep you can get your wards into your top side, whether you can get into the enemy top side. Get vision of everywhere else, because that's where you can survive. That's where the wards are useful. And the more coverage you get everywhere but where they are, the more certain you can be that they're there, right? Because you can't walk in there constantly clearing it. There's Antunes is always in your bot side jungle, always dealing with stuff. Dax is always in your bot side jungle dealing with your wards. They're not allowed to establish any sort of a vision line past, where their red buff is. So just don't put it everywhere else. Get yourself some vision, get yourself some level of knowledge. Even if it doesn't see anyone, it gives you a lot of information. They are not there. Now Jaffe, stealth ADC 1 of 2, trying to find another way on a Yon right there. There's the ultimate burnt from Antunes, who kind of looks like a fish out of water right now. Stuck in a bad position right about a Yon taking so much damage. Goes down to that final shot from Luru, who's in the middle, but this Twitch has so much AD. Ticks down, and he has picked up the kill from Seaborg. Will Seaborg be able to hold off the jungler, though? Jaffe stuck under the turret.
Oh!
Kill found from Seaborg. The W passive taking down that minion, and Seaborg with a triple kill, trying to bring this game back.
The silver lining for AWE all series long has been Seaborg. Oh, Slowbro, you're 2 foot forward.
Oh, geez, Slowbro caught in a bad position right there. It's P-Sweezy, has ungodly amounts of AP, I have to imagine. I don't know if we can get a check on that right now, but there might be a rain check being grabbed right now for Seaborg, who might want to call it quits right here. Stuck in with the Jarvan. Surprise! There is a kill getting picked up by P-Sweezy. Once again, that Veigar is very, very far from being in control.
Yeah, and Seaborg was going for that play without going back to base after picking up, I believe, 3 shutdowns at the fight before, and now a full Zhonya's in the inventory for that Zoe, so going to be significantly stronger and going to have a defensive option for that Cataclysm that was not seen in what we just saw. So trying to pick that fight was just a little over tempo and maybe got a little excited at the prospect of bringing the game back. It's grim, but it's possible now. Seaborg does have a lot of gold in their inventory, and the pick potential is going to be on this Zoe. Try and find Antunes overextending. That's what we just watched. We know that Antunes will probably do it again before the game is over. Opportunistically catch them out with that Sleepy Trouble Bubble, get that Jinx excited, and then maybe things can start going the right. Drowsy in the bot lane.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to convert into anything right now. Obviously, Seaborg has a lot of damage on board. Now, you have definitely heard me talk poorly about this Zoe setup. Taking the Electrocute instead of Spellbook gives you a lot less pressure. Specifically in the later stages of the game right now. Hold on, there might be a play in the bot lane that goes well for AWE, but they lose track of Jaffe, and that's just going to be it. Meanwhile, Slowbro, under a little bit of pressure, I think we all know how this one's going to play out. So the one benefit that does come from this Zoe build is that you do keep that pick potential in these stages of the game, because your damage on an individual target is so much higher. Your utility doesn't need to be as high, or it can't be as high. So you lose out on your team fighting potential, but you keep the pick potential. And I think that's what they need right now is hold on. Seaborg's been stunned up by the Solar Flare. The flashes come through. The engages here. Yon getting the chance to free fire, but it hasn't been able to turn into anything yet. Hold on, there's one picked up, but doesn't know Luru's in the wings and just shreds through the health bar almost instantly. That is an ace map wide picked up for Baby.
Yeah, things are looking quite bad, and Seaborg overextending into Fog of War. I know you're with your support, but Riri cannot save you. You have to be playing that backline role, and as a result, Seaborg is going to drop before that Zhonya's can get pressed. An ace for Baby puts this game on the brink, and if Baron were up, I am sure this game would be over.
Yeah, 13k gold deficit before the 20-minute mark is disheartening, to say the least. It's really difficult to keep your wits among you at this point. They're going to be picking up that Rift Herald. I think the goal for Baby right now could be go for a Shelly dance, just just see what you can pull off. I think they have the power to do it right now. We really haven't seen them 5 versus 5 group yet. They have a composition that's better at it, and they have scaled. They are well past this Jinx. Even or better with the Zoe right now. Obviously, with the Veigar passive is worth easily an extra item with how much he's been able to pick up just from these trades and these kills. So I have to imagine that they're going to be quite comfortable. Like you say, the Baron is up relatively soon, 20 seconds. I don't see any reason why they couldn't just turn to it. I think it would take a lot of effort for AWE to try and turn that fight, even with Baron working on their side. So we'll see how things go. Right now, Liru is consistently looking for kills and just making use of this Twitch stealth. Trying to find a way onto Yon potentially. Doesn't realize how close everything is. No, he's just going to happily make his way out of there, and it looks like Baby's going to finally start to group together.
Yeah, I think if Baby just group up, walk mid lane, drop Shelly, this game should end pretty quickly. But Dax might be the one caught out here, some trouble bubble.
I don't think this is a fight you want to take. I feel like you just take the pick, and the Gore Drinker's enough to keep Dax alive right now. So far, Yon untouched on the backline, though. Ariri taken very, very low, and he is immediately killed out by Jappy's ultimate. That is 2 kills onto, oh geez, AWE is going to continue to lose more right now. Twitch is going off. Happy to grab that extra CS in the midst of it. 3 kills picked up for Luru, and this is just a chase into the base. Good luck dodging that one, Zoe. Kill picked up for Peaceweezy, aced once again, and I was talking about a Shelly dance a couple minutes ago. I think that might be coming into fruition right now as Dax is still holding on, and AWE, sit back. I think that you guys tried your best. Baby's a really difficult team to beat. These guys have been working very, very hard throughout the entirety of the season right now as they are charging down towards the Nexus. Shelly still hasn't even gotten a charge through right now as AWE's trying to make a final stand 2 versus 5, but it can only go so well. Baby, in a 3-0 sweep, is going to be moving on to semifinals.
Yeah, and how scary does Baby look right now? AWE, the upstart, comeback performers of the year, were looking good with a 2-0 week going into playoffs, but Baby home, drop a new game plan. Meanwhile, Baby looking like they might just be the number one seed in power, coming in at number 3 in these playoffs, and wow. I mean, everybody on Baby performed really well in the series.
I mean, let's talk about the teams that got buys right now. We've got to talk about, obviously, they're going to be facing up against one of UB or TDE. UB has kind of fallen from grace a little bit. There's been they had a really difficult closing out the couple of weeks. Obviously, they were trying some new stuff. We know that team doesn't play their hearts out necessarily once they've locked into those playoff spots, and we know that they can play phenomenally even from behind. We saw it all season long. So yeah, I think that Baby's got a good chance there. They've looked good against them before. They look phenomenal today. TDE is another team that's been working really, really hard. They got the new coaching staff in, and it's made a very big difference. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Baby, which one of those two teams Baby's going to be up against. I mean, seeding says that they should be up against TDE, but obviously it is up to the number 1 seeds to decide which team they want to play against come that time.
And Baby's certainly looking like a scary one to choose, but we want to hear what Baby has to think about this series. So before we get to that interview, we need to go to a quick break, so don't go anywhere.
Hello, folks, and welcome back. We've got an interview with the absolutely insane bot lane from Team Beat Boop, Antunes and Luru. Guys, coming off of an 0-3 set, just give me your feelings going into these semifinals.
Pretty confident. What about you, Antunes? His microphone is messing up. That's unfortunate, but I can speak for him. He's very confident as well. He feels like he's the best support in the league.
He does. Do you know the secret of why his hooks always seem to find their target and never miss?
Not only is he good, but we set up the lane in such a way that it's very easy for him to hit the hooks.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's not like he's Venmoing the other team in the middle of the match.
Well, it looks like we paid the bot lane to throw, but I promise you we did not pay them.
Okay. So just kind of give me your guys's preparations going into this game versus Art of War, because they kind of pulled out some unorthodox strats. They stole away the Nautilus from y'all, so I kind of want to get your opinions on that. And then they had kind of like a little bit of a crazy team comp in game 3. Was that kind of in your game plan and what you were planning on dealing with in this match?
We didn't know anything about the Nico top. The bot lane, we didn't really prepare against champions that they were playing against. We sort of knew that we just were better, and we just focused on fundamentals, have fighting when we were strong. So we tried to take fights early on and get them low HP, zone them off XP, slow push into a dive or them messing up greeting for CS, and we kill them off that on the slow push. That was basically the plan.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, it's a great game plan to have. Just basically force your opponent to make a mistake and then just capitalize on it. Pretty much, League of Legends in a nutshell. And speaking of League of Legends in a nutshell, the next set of games that we've got coming up are Washed versus RLS, which is going to determine who UB picks to go against. We'll get into that question here in a second of which one TB'd rather go against there. But what are your predictions for the Washed versus RLS game? Do you have kind of a good idea of who you think is going to come out on top?
In my opinion, I think it's going to be a close game, but I think RLS will win. So I think it's going to be a 4 or 5 game series.
4 or 5. Okay, I was going to say, do you have a betting spread? So you think it's going to go to a game 5?
Yeah. What about you, Antunes?
Hopefully my mic's working. For tomorrow's matches?
Yeah, RLS versus Wash.
RLS.
RLS? When do you think they're going to take it? You think they're going to 0-3 sweep it?
Yeah, 3-0 sweep.
3-0 sweep?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's a pretty spicy one to take. And then I got to ask you, it's whenever UB finally picks their opponent based off of the winners of tomorrow's game, who would you rather go against? Would you rather go in trickle-down economics or universal basic income?
Yeah, UB. I think UB is a easier game.
Yeah. Easier series than
TD. Easier. Is that because you think that the mental strain won't be as difficult?
No, it's our playstyles are completely different. So they have good mental, but they lose almost every early game. Well, we have a very strong early game, so we just have our play style is way better against UB. And I know that I said I didn't want to play against TDE, but I'm not scared of playing against them. I think that we're a better team than TDE as well. It's just UB would be a lot easier.
Same thing for you, Antunes?
Yeah, and I would say it's against people you know for a while in the community and stuff, so it's gonna be a really good series for both teams.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be pretty exciting matchup regardless of who you guys going up against, and I think the Wash versus RLS game is going to be really close as well. Before I end up letting you guys go, I do have to ask, what is it that a robot drinks? Because I've been trying to figure out what y'all would put on your hoodies. So it's just, what do you guys have any idea of what you'd want on there?
Oil.
Yeah, oil.
Motor oil.
Yeah, oil.
All right, getting very Futurama robots in here with this. All right, well, Antunes, Luru, I want to say thank you guys so much. Great game. You guys put on one heck of a show.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. All right, folks. And with that, that is going to close it out for the day. Remember to check out FOFesports.com for the merch store, which will be opening up again soon. And then the FOF Connect, you can also find there as well. And then don't forget to drop by our Discord. Keep up to date on all of the friend or foe funness that we have going on there. And everyone have a wonderful night.